if we were having a hybrid session earlier,
the stream
when we were
has
talking
begun.
about the servicemen suffrage, I would have been like, I'm a daughter of the American Revolution.
Oh,
the stream has begun. The stream has begun.
All right, folks.
Where's
we are live.
the link?
I'm posting it now.
Yeah, you have to post the link in the Senate. In the EUSA main Discord.
Or just DM me.
Yeah, do that as fast as possible because we're moving back.
Go. Okay. All
right. So is everybody? Say this in the game if everybody's present.
Present.
I said in the game, but all right. All right, good.
Present.
All right, Sal's here. Now Wendell, are you here?
Wendell.
Mr. Patterson is present.
Oh, good. Okay. Wendell. Oh boy. Okay. We're gonna have to wait for him to move on.
Rip. Only two are watching right now. Rip.
Oh man.
Only two?
Yeah. Okay. I motion to continue debate and proceed.
No, we've been voting, and Connor said nay. All right, Senator Patterson.
What am I doing?
This is item 6, the put God back in the pledge amendment.
Yee.
All right, good. I say aye. Senator Parker. Good. Okay. Senator Pinball's absent. Senator Duckworth.
Aye.
Good. Senator Marston.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, we are now moving on to item 7. Or should I say beforehand, the item 6 passes 5-2. Alright, we are now moving on to item 7, the Electoral Process Discretion Act. The floor is now open to debate.
I motion to proceed.
Second.
Okay, good. With those having second, we are now moving on to a vote. Senator Green.
Aye.
Okay. Senator Patterson.
Yee.
Okay. I vote aye. Senator Parker. Good. Senator Duckworth.
Aye.
Okay, Senator Marston.
Yeah.
Okay. Item passes 6-1. We're now moving on to item 8, which is the National Security Update of 2017. The floor is now open to debate.
I motion to proceed.
Second.
Okay, there's a Zanzig second. We are now moving on. Senator Green.
Aye.
Senator Green. Okay.
Aye.
Senator Patterson. Senator I vote aye. Senator Parker. That's aye. Senator Duckworth.
Aye.
Senator Marston.
Yeah.
Okay, item passes 6-1. You're now moving on to the revised Senate Confirmations Amendment. Floor is open to debate. Is there a second to Senator Parker's motion?
Yeah.
Okay, we are now moving on to a vote. Senator Green.
Aye.
Senator Patterson. I vote aye. Senator Parker. Votes aye. Senator Duckworth.
Aye.
Senator Marston.
Yeah.
Okay, item passes 6-1. We're now moving on to the Military Amendment to the Code of the United States. Floor is now open to debate.
I motion to proceed.
Is there a second? Okay, good. With Senator Parker's second, we are now moving on. Senator Green.
Aye.
Senator Patterson. I vote aye. Senator Parker. Votes aye. My apologies. Senator Duckworth.
Aye.
Senator Marston.
Yeah.
Okay. 7-0. The item passes. We're now moving on to item 10, item 11, the revived Army Exchange Act of 2017. Floor is now open to debate.
I motion to proceed.
There's a second.
Second.
Excellent. We are now moving on to a vote. Senator Green.
Aye.
Okay. Senator Patterson.
Yee.
I vote aye. Senator Parker votes aye. Senator Duckworth.
Aye.
Senator Marston.
Yeah.
Alright, the item passes 6-1. We're now moving on to the Reestablishment of the Army Act as proposed by the President, Gatsby. The floor is now open to debate.
Motion to proceed.
I second.
Okay, we are now moving on to a vote. Let me just adjust this. Okay, Senator Green.
Aye.
Okay. Senator Patterson. Okay, 1 second. Okay, I vote aye. Senator Parker votes aye. I believe, right? Yeah. Senator Duckworth
Abstain.
abstains. Senator Marston.
Yeah.
Okay, the item passes 5-0. We're now moving on to nomination 1, Daniel Marston to Secretary of State. Also, just be aware that these numbers are going to be out of order. This agenda was finalized before all the nominations were finalized, so these will be out of order. They will be fixed shortly after this. So just keep that in mind. But we are now moving on to Daniel Marston for Sec State. The floor is now open to debate.
Mr. President.
I'd like to speak.
Okay, the chair recognizes Senator Duckworth. You have the floor.
Thank
Point
you,
of
Mr.
order,
President.
Mr. President. Point of order.
Okay.
I'm not sure if it's in the. Well, I don't really know if this is the updated version, but I believe it goes by Senior. And I used to be in the Senate before Senator Duckworth.
Right, you have you have seniority. All right.
Thank
Okay, what is your motion?
motion.
Not motion. I'm sorry. Your request.
Well, I requested the floor at the same time.
Oh, okay. So I'm sorry, Senator Duckworth. Senator Green has the floor.
That's fine.
Now this isn't just about the nominee. During the campaign, I said that almost every nominee should, especially cabinet or even judicial, should be sent to committee, despite who they are. Which is why for the for almost every cabinet nominee, I will be saying, I'll be motioning to send them to their respective committee to make sure that the committee can review them. So even though Senator Duckworth would like to speak, I like to motion to send this nominee to the Foreign Relations Committee that is chaired by Senator Mavis, and also I am the ranking. So I yield and I motion.
Okay. Are there any seconds to that motion? We'll give it
Great.
30 seconds. Okay, with no seconds to the motion, Senator Duckworth has the floor, and the motion is.
I thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, former Secretary Marston has been Prime Minister and President of Poland. He's clearly experienced enough to handle the everyday items needed to keep our State Department the official State Department, which is why I will be voting aye for the rest of the Weeb community. Thank you. I yield.
Okay. Anyone else want the floor?
Yes.
I motion to proceed. Oh, sorry, never mind.
Okay.
I retract.
I'm sorry. My apologies. Who motioned? All right. Who
I'd like
requested
to
the floor?
speak.
Okay, Senator Marston has the floor.
Thank you. For over my 4 weeks of running the State Department, I've really done a good job at employing the citizens, along with filling a lot of the vacancies that have been left in the department by my predecessor. So far, we've filled almost around 60%, 70%. The spreadsheet's going to be released soon after my confirmation, along with all the ambassadors and everything you need to know, along with the Trilo. And that's all I have to say.
Okay.
I
All right.
motion to proceed, Mr. President.
Are there any seconds?
I second.
Okay, with a resounding second, we are now moving on to a vote on item 13. Mr. Green, Senator Green.
Abstain.
Okay. Abstain. Senator Patterson.
I proudly vote ye.
Okay. I vote aye. Senator Parker votes aye. Senator Duckworth.
Aye.
Senator Marston.
Abstain.
Okay. Fair man. Alright, the Nomination passes 5-0. We're now moving on to Ukrainian to Secretary of Commerce. Would anybody like the floor?
Mr. President, I request.
Okay, the chair recognizes Senator Green.
Mr. President, as I said before, I will be motioning for every cabinet nominee to be sent to their respective committee. Therefore, I motion that, that former representative Ukrainian who is nominated for Secretary of Commerce be sent to the Government Oversight and Judiciary Committee. And there's actually a reason behind this, because the Commerce Department has been the worst department, in my opinion, within our entire government. And I think it's important that the nominee that's going to lead it is questioned. I yield. And
all right. Next time you request, please, or next time you speak, please go to the podium.
okay.
Anyway, yeah. All right. So, are there any seconds to his motion to send Ukrainian to committee?
Oh my God. Thank you.
Second, which motion? The motion to vote or the motion to proceed? No, motion to. Okay. All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. All opposed.
Nay.
Okay. Well, the ayes have it. So Ukrainian is being sent to committee. I'm just going. I'll make sure to make that clear. Okay. What is your motion?
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Nay.
Nay. Okay, so it's even right now. Because Marston abstained. Okay, so
The Vice President.
This is the Vice President.
It is not. It is not. I'm sorry. Sal and Connor said no. You, Wendell, and Mavis said aye. That's 3 against 2, so it does go.
Yeah, you get a vote, buddy.
No, I nayed.
I
You
nayed.
said. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sal and Connor said no or nay or
No,
yeah, whatever. They went for it. What I'm
aye.
saying, it's 2 against 3.
Oh,
right.
right.
The 3
okay.
go with it.
My
Yeah.
apologies. Okay, so the motion fails.
I motion to proceed to a vote.
In a second.
I second.
Okay, so we are now moving on to a vote on item 14. Senator Green.
Item 14, that's Ukrainian.
Ukrainian, yes.
Well, he was the one sent to committee. Like, the one.
Oh, right. We did send him to committee. My apologies. We are now moving on to item 15. I'm sorry, there's a lot going on right now. We are now moving on to item 15. Viscarios for Secretary of Defense. The floor is open to debate.
Mr. President, I request the floor.
Okay. The floor is yours, Senator Green.
Thank you. So, once again, as I keep saying,
You Connecticut cunt, stand up.
Oh, sorry, yes. I'm also writing it. Okay. So, as I keep saying, every cabinet nominee should be committee. I'm not sure why some don't want them to go there, but I'm going to be motioning for this nominee to be sent to the Defense Committee or the Armed Forces Committee. And I believe it's very important to send this one and also the others to committee, and hopefully people will realize it, because committees make not only DC active, but it also makes it not seem like a rubber stamp. And I yield and continue with my motion of Viscarios into the Armed Forces.
Okay, before you have the floor, Senator Parker, is there a second to the motion to send Viscarios to the Armed Forces Committee? None? Okay. Motion fails. Senator Parker, you have the floor. Okay. Excellent.
Mr. President, I request the
Okay, one at a time. Green, you have seniority, so what is your... Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'd like to remind the gentleman from whatever his state is, Kentucky, yeah, that state, that I was not filibustering, and I think he needs to learn what the definition of filibustering is, because not filibustering, I just believe that every nominee, especially when it comes to the cabinet or even the judiciary, should be sent to committee for review. This not only makes our Congress active, but it also makes it seem like we're doing our duties, because quite frankly, in the past, the Congresses have been doing nothing except voting on legislation, and I believe that committee hearings will not only make us look more active, but also will make sure that we're doing more than just voting on legislation, because we're supposed to be doing more than just voting on legislation and also creating laws, and that's by using the committees that we have, and nominees and reviewing nominees is the most important when it comes to committees. I yield.
Okay, let me make this point now that either of you, both of you, let's refrain from personal attacks while we are on the floor, because this is the Senate after all. We're supposed to be above the House, of course. So, alright, let me check seniority, because Parker requested the floor. Alright, that's right, so you're recognized. Parker, you will go after Senator Patterson. Okay, I'm gonna give myself the floor really quickly. So I understand where the argument is coming from, sending them to committee. But some of these folks are already overly qualified for their positions, especially Sir Robert Lewandowski Viscarios to Secretary of Defense. I believe that these decisions made by the president to appoint to his cabinet were well informed, and that we should not hold up the advancement of the government to to vet these folks, especially when, but it's not necessary to vet these folks when they've already proved that they are qualified enough. As for the other nominees, then we have to leave it up to the rest of your senators to decide. So anyway, is there? Oh, I'm sorry. Was that a motion, Senator Patterson, or are we moving on to? Okay, and that's a motion to send everybody else to.
Second.
Okay, all in favor of sending.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, all opposed. I say nay. Parker says nay. Okay, so the ayes have it. All other nominations will be sent to
Cabinet, Mr.
the
President.
cabinet. My
So
apologies.
Vis, Nicola, and Jorak.
Right. Okay. So let me mark that down.
Thank you, Senator Patterson. You're a good man.
I motion to also send Sir Robert Lewandowski to committee.
Oh my god.
Nay.
Yeah, no. I don't see anybody seconding that. No. 1 second. Let me fix the agenda to account for this. So that was item 14. Right, item 14, 15. If somebody could read off the other nominations to me, the other cabinet nominations.
Nikolai Kilinik.
Is that which item is that?
Number 16.
14 through 17.
Okay. Okay. Here, I'll just mark them all as nays. Not that they actually failed, but it needs to register. So 1 second. Oh, it came up as error before. Alright, whatever. So, alright, we will now move on to item 18. Sir Robert Lewandowski to Deputy Secretary of Defense. The floor is now open to debate. Oh, my apologies. My apologies. Senator Parker had requested the floor. I did not see. I was not paying attention. You have the floor. Again, let's refrain from personal attacks. Senator Parker. Proceed. Okay. Alright, so the floor is open to debate on item 18.
Motion to proceed to a vote, Mr. President.
Okay, any seconds?
I second.
Okay, we're now proceeding to a vote.
Wait.
The motion already passed to proceed to a vote. Alright. Senator Green.
Aye.
Okay. Senator Patterson.
Yee.
I vote aye. Senator Parker. That's aye, my apologies. Senator Duckworth.
Nay.
Senator Marston.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me fix that. There we go. Okay. Passes 6-1. We are now moving on to item 19, the Immunity Fix Act of 2017, as proposed by Senator Duckworth. My apologies. The floor is open to debate. Is there a second to Senator Parker's motion? Okay, we are moving on to a vote. Okay. Senator Green.
Nay.
Nay. Senator Patterson.
Yee.
Okay, 1 second. The agenda is not... There we go, okay. I vote... Oh, Senator Patterson, your vote again? Okay, I vote aye. Senator Parker? Votes aye. Senator Duckworth?
Aye.
Senator Marston?
Abstain.
Okay. So, with a 4-2 vote, the legislation passes. Alright, we are now moving on to nomination 11, David Axelrod to Deputy Secretary of State. The floor is now open to debate.
Mr. President, I request.
Okay, the chair recognizes Senator Green. You have the floor.
Let me get up. Mr. President, I have a motion for 2 nominees. Because of their history and past, I'd like to motion that they be sent to committee, and the reasons are as followed. Salvador, he has the tendency to suddenly disappear. He did this during his assistant commodore, assistant commandant tenure in the Marines, and also he's known for just disappearing. And Mr. Axelrod has a history of leaving EUSA and going back to NUSA, which is where he's originally from. And I believe both need to be examined by their respective committees. And I understand that they're deputies, but they both have they both have a history that needs to be reviewed by committee. I yield and hope someone seconds this.
Alright, first, I'll give Senator Parker the... No, okay. First, is there a second to the motion by Senator Green?
I second.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, all in favor nay? Or all in favor say nay. I say abstain. Okay. So, which two were it again? It was Axelrod and Salvador, correct?
Yeah. Yep. Sent to committee.
Okay, so they're going to be sent to committee, which means first I'm going to give Senator Parker the floor, but afterwards we will be moving on to the last 3 items. Okay, Senator Marston, you have the floor.
Thank you. I'd like to speak upon David Axelrod. I've known him since his time when he was Secretary of State of NUSA, and ever since then, NUSA's destroyed most of the work that he's done, along with completely, almost as he says, harasses him on Twitter. He informs me of some of the things that NUSA does, which is how I'm able to base my foreign policy off of. And he's been nothing but helpful to me in the short time that he's been the nominee for Deputy Secretary of State. And he's been a huge help to me. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Okay.
Mr. President, I motion we move on since they've been sent to committee.
Yeah, that was the plan anyway. We are now... Oh, that's what's happening anyway. We are now going to move on to item 22, which is Robert T. Harrison to Deputy Attorney General. The floor is now open to debate.
Motion to proceed to a vote.
Is there a second? Okay, we are now moving on to a vote. So this is item 22. Right. Okay. Senator Green.
I vote aye, Mr. President.
Okay. Senator Patterson. Okay. I vote aye. Senator Parker. It's aye. Senator Duckworth.
Aye.
Okay. Senator Marston.
Yeah.
Okay. The item passes 7-0. We're now moving on to the 14th nomination, William Renz to Deputy Secretary of Homeland Security. Floor is now open to debate.
Proceed, Mr. President.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, we're now moving on to a vote on item 23. Senator Green.
Aye, Mr. President.
Senator Patterson. I say aye. Senator Parker votes aye. Senator Duckworth.
Aye.
Senator Marston.
Yeah.
Okay. The item passes 7-0. We are now going to move on to the final item for the night, which is George Kane's nomination to the Senate. Floor is now open to debate.
Mr. President, I request the floor.
Okay. The chair recognizes Senator Green.
I'd just like to say that despite Mr. Kane, despite our differences, he out of I believe all of us, has the most experience in the Senate. And when he's in the Senate, he's known to be very productive and whatnot. And I'd just like to say, and I know his activity might be a concern, but I've spoken to him privately, and I know if he's talking to President Gatsby about his activity, and he's assured us that he will be active and do the duties and fulfill them. And I'm not supporting him just because of his party. I'm supporting him because I know that he understands the duties of a senator and that he'll be able to fulfill the obligations very well. I yield and motion to proceed to a vote.
Senator Parker requested the floor before, so he now has it. Okay, would anybody like... Oh, no, I'm sorry. Would anybody second the motion by Senator Green to proceed to a vote?
I second.
Okay, we are proceeding to a vote. Let me just mark this. Okay. Senator Green.
I vote aye, Mr. President.
Senator Patterson. Okay. I vote abstain. Senator Parker. Votes nay. Senator Duckworth.
Senator Duckworth has left.
Okay. That's great. I'll put him as abstain. Senator Marston.
Yeah.
Okay, we now have a tie. Mr. Vice President.
Mr. Vice President, will you break it in favor of Gatsby nomination? And
Vice President Rumsfeld. There is a tie on Kane for the Senate.
I vote aye.
Okay.
Oh, that wasn't smart. He's terminal diabetes.
Okay. Alright, so with 3-2, Kane passes the Senate. Okay. We will now be moving on to closing statements. Would anybody like the floor?
Mr. President, I request.
Okay, the chair recognizes Senator Green. You have the
Thank you,
floor.
Mr. President. I'm very impressed that we got through about 23 or items within just an hour and 30 minutes. I'd just like to say that despite our differences, because obviously I'm the only Democrat at the current session, and many of you didn't really like my proposals, I'd like to thank the senator from New Jersey, for instance, in ensuring that almost every cabinet official is sent to committee and reviewed. And I'd just like to thank everyone who showed up, and I hope that we have a productive term, and hope that we are able to compromise on certain issues, especially when it comes to checking the executive and the judicial. And I yield and motion to adjourn.
Okay.
I would like to press the floor.
Oh god. Let me check. Right.
Yeah.
Senator Patterson has seniority, so you have it. Okay, would anybody like the floor?
I'd like the floor. Just give me a moment. I'm loading in. I crashed.
Well, you have the floor while you load in, so enjoy.
Okay, so first of all, I'd like to thank my fellow Republicans and especially Leader Parker for giving me the opportunity to give me the opportunity to be in this chamber of Congress. I'd like to thank all my constituents back in California. Most of which are otakus. I'd like to thank them as well, and I hope that we can have a productive and very progressive term. I yield the floor.
Okay, I'm just gonna take the floor really quickly, Mr. Parker, before you. So this was a good yet messy session. I apologize. There are a lot of things going on. I know that there were 23 or 22 items up. So my apologies. It took so long, but we wanted to get this moving. It's unfortunate that we had to send the folks from the Department of Defense to committee. Because we already know they're overqualified for their positions. But hopefully we can get these hearings out of the way quickly. I can tell you now, all those nominations will be going to the wall. However, I'm very happy for the turnout, especially from the GOP. I'm very proud. I'm happy that Senator Greene came out to represent his party, and I'm sure that we will have a good term to come. So, thank you, and I yield the floor. Senator Parker, you have the floor now. Okay, would anybody like the floor for closing?
Motion to adjourn, Mr. President.
Okay, any seconds?
I second.
Okay, we shall now move on to a vote to adjourn. Okay. Senator Greene?
Aye.
Senator Patterson?
Yay!
I vote aye. Senator Parker? Senator Parker? Okay, I'll put him as abstain. Senator Duckworth.
Aye.
Senator Marston.
Yeah.
Okay. This session is hereby adjourned.